Hello everyone, welcome to Hsinchu. I'm your tour guide Jenny. Today I will take you to visit four of our historical sites in Greater Hsinchu. Let me introduce myself. I was born in Hsinchu. Although my hometown is far from downtown Hsinchu, it takes at least 20 minutes to drive here. However, when I was young, Hsinchu City was a place that I could never get tired of visiting every time I visit. So let me take you to know about this beautiful place. Before we start the tour, there are something about the pre-departure you need to know. Now I'm giving you a piece of paper with pre-departure notes. Let me read to you should know. First, the tour is taking about 2 hours and will make 4 stops. Second, please follow the traffic rules walking on the right side and watch the traffic signs when you cross the road. Third, if you need to drink water, you can buy bottled water in convenience store because the tap water is undrinkable. Fourth, the public toilets do not provide toilet paper. Please prepare by yourself. And the tissue paper is unflushable. Fifth, when you enter a temple, it is impolite to point at or touch the god models with your finger in Asian area. Another point is that the most sensitive natural thing in Hsinchu is that the wind is very strong. Please pay attention to the wind and sand running into your eyes during the journey. If you all know the precautions, then we will start the first stop of historic actions in Hsinchu. Okay everyone, we have now reached the first historical site, Hsinchu train station. Hsinchu train station was built in 1913. It's the oldest and the most well-preserved station in Taiwan nowadays. It was latest as a provincial relic. You can pay attention to the appearance of this building. It is very unique. And it also retains a Baroque architectural style building that will be introduced to you next. Baroque architecture is a highly directive and circular style which appeared in Italy in the earlier 17th century and gradually spread across Europe. Everyone can focus on this special clock tower. This clock tower can be seen from all sides of the station. The gambrel roof, which is two-sided roof with two slopes on each side, and the ancient Greek columns and the keystone are all worth appreciation. Such a building is really beautiful, right? Now I have some architectural photos of the exterior of the station. Let me share with you guys. The first picture is a designer of Hsinchu train station, Matsuyaki. Combined German, medieval, and Gothic Jinjiang style together. Step and high roof with single hung windows in between. He shaped the slowman and heavy phalanx of the building by ways of putting stones among pillars and corners. There are gunboats and 2 cameras at the entrance. After the restructuring of Hsinchu train station, pedestrian paths have been added so that people can have a good shelter from the sun and rain when walking to and from the train. Okay, then we'll walk about 10 minutes to our next stop, Yinxin East Gate. This stop is the most famous mountain, Yinxin East Gate, in 9th year of Dongguang in the Qing dynasty. This stone gate was proposed by Zhang Yongxin and 47 officials. Residents built it at their own expense. The structure of Yinxin Gate can be divided into 2-story buildings. The Uva Tower was originally a wooden building. But now the material is changed to concrete, and the low wall on the city wall is made of shallow bricks. The lower part of the tower is called the city sea, which is made up of townshine stone and strip-shaped granite stones. The eaves are six-hand double-eaves buildings. The ridge is as light as a dovetail, and underneath the eaves hang elegantly carved hanging tops. Next, we enter this tale. The underground passage of Dongmen City is mainly used to connect the road between the moat and the Dongmen Ring Road. In 1999, Mayor Kai Ranjan promoted the Hsinchu Heart Project, which included the underground passage, and the space was improved. Since then, the number of citizens visiting here has also increased. Both entrances to the underground passage are beside the moat shrine. The entrance went to the bottom of the east gate of the city square, where a huge stone pillar was erected on the arch. Head to the wooden clearing, which was formed by demolishing and the upstone fountain. When we pass through the underground passage, there are three bow piers. There are two versions of the date of construction. One was built when the original single-span bridge was widened to a double-span bridge during the Japanese occupation, period from 1910 to 1920. The other was that the building materials and the construction method of this shop were the same as those of Inshimon. This type of bridge pier was called the water-driven golden goose wing in the Tang Dynasty. As the name suggests, it used pointed piers to deflect the water potential and prevent impact. The construction method of how tooth structured is originally strong. The double-point piers on both sides of the bridge are like floating bridges supporting the bridge, like wild goose wings spreading wings. It's hard to believe that the buildings we see now are so special. Now please take your belongings and beautiful memories with you. Let's walk about 10 minutes to our next stop, the TTL Hsinchu business. Now this stop is the TTL Hsinchu business. Umazawa Shinjaro is the designer of this architecture, which opened in 1935. This building is a modernist style building with horizontal lines and the main axis of design. It can be seen that the works of the designer in the same part show the characteristic of modernist. The building in shapes horizontal lines and the high rises to the center layer by layer, making the entrance a center tower to strengthen the image of the entrance. Influenced by modernism, it works in shaped horizontal lines and remove unnecessary directions. The faded openings mainly consist of rectangular square windows, along with the horizontal lines of washed stone, rain shelters, and window sills. It was an extremely advanced design style at that time, and shaping horizontal lines, and both have tailoring tenacles. The office building is a reinforced brick building on the third floor. The first floor is the main space, such as the entrance, popular recreation room, branch office, The entrance is located at the corner, and the height of the building is raised to the center layer by layer, making the entrance a central tower to strengthen the image of the entrance. The exterior of the building is affixed with tiles with a special style. This building is also listed as one of highest historical, artistic, or scientific value. If anyone wants to take a 5 minutes break and go to 7-Eleven to buy things, can put it forward. Everyone will take a rest and next we will walk to the last stop of the day. Alright, we arrived at this very folk-style sightseeing spot, Hsinchu City God Temple, which will also be our last stop. In Hsinchu people perception, the city god temple is the most influential temple. Here is regarded as the highest ranking of all city god temples in Taiwan due to the superior spiritual power of its city god in protecting the town. Right now we are at the main entrance. There are 3 spirit gates here, and we normally go into the temple from the right side and go left from the left gate. We don't use the one in the middle as it is believed this gate is only used by the goddess. And the dragon clone is made of great accent, and the upper and lower combs are octagonal. Now, we are standing here and seeing right now is called Shangchuan Hall. This is the entrance hall of the city god temple. Its exterior directions is the most concentrated, and the hall is the most gorgeous. It seems to be sending a message, which makes people know at a glance that this is an important building. Especially the stone carvings at the entrance are dazzling and dazzling. The place where the most stones appear in the temple. Because of its own weight and moisture resistance, stone carvings are mostly located on the lower floors of buildings, so they are easier to observe than other types of architectural art. You can even touch it with your hands and feel the cold and hard stone in the hands of the craftsman. Such a rich and varied shape and detailed performance. The stone carving arts that are not easy to miss in Shangchuan Hall include dragon pearls, stone lions, wall blocks, and details at the front statement of the symbolism of dragon pearls is very strong, and it cannot be configured everywhere. Usually, only the fact of Shangchuan Hall and the main hall will appear. It is a more particular approach to configure a pair of dragon spells on the front and the rear corners of Shangchuan Hall in the city god temple. The stone used for the 2 pairs of dragon pearls is black and gray Edison, with smaller forms. The upper part is supported by an octagonal cone head, and the name of all kinds of carrying donors are common at that time. The window is turned over the cellular cylinder to form the continuous S shape. Now you can look up. Right above us, with the carrying of the bucket and its architecture, this temple has a lantern-shaped hanging cylinder carved into a hexagon shape, and each side is decorated with figures. The figures around it are fashionable and lightly swayed in the wind, and the workmanship is extremely exquisite. In addition, it is carved in the shape of a lotus pendant. And under the bench, there are about 16 groups of small pendants and hanging baskets, which is also its characteristic. Please go inside and then you can see the interior architecture as the main entry and the exit space. The front and location are important, so the complex direction is the focus of the craftsman's skills. Since ancient times, the traditional Chinese architecture, this ceiling is a top directive technique in traditional East Asian architecture, where the roof of the building is raised upwards like a wall, and the four walls are decorated with orgy patterns. The eight angel ceiling in the central hall, the practice is divided into three layers. The bottom is a square beam. The top is an octagon, and the octagon once again appears in the middle. The connection between the left and right is relatively simple. Only the four sides are shrunk inward by layers of buckets, and a squat plate with auspicious patterns is placed on the top. Although the shape is plain, it is full of structural beauty. Now I have some wood carving part picture I want to share with you. Wood carvings are commonly known as sunflowers in Taiwan and are small wooden works. When the Hsinchu city god temple was built during the Taisho period of Japanese rule, the wooden carving masters in particular directly or indirectly inherited the fine and special traditional skills of southern Fujian. Most of the materials are imported Chinese food. Comfort cypress, among them, comfort is the main material for carving. Because of the fine texture of camphor and the wood itself has anti-corrosion effect, it is regarded as a good material for carving. As you can see, this wood carving is called Qilin block in the Ming Dynasty. It has a flexible shape and runs forward on four legs. But looking back, this is the standard posture of the general unicorn block. Second, look at the stone carvings on the wall skirt. The carving method of tickling the ground and paddling is adopted. The two birds and the little lion are facing each other up and down. The composition is interesting. It appears frequently in Shanshan, and the content is mostly civil and military officials or military generals file on horseback. The costumes and accessories are lifelike, and the scenes are mostly taken from the story of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Okay everyone, this is our last stop today. Please put on your belongings and come back to Hsinchu train station with me as today's happy ending. Thank you for visiting these four beautiful mountains with me today, and it is my honor to let me serve as your tour guide for one day. If you like my tour today, and don't hesitate to give me some support, then we will be here for ending today. Hope to see you next time.